All right, everybody, welcome to the Monica Branch Show. I am your co-host, Joe Janica from Gym Life Media. Sitting to my left is IFBB superstar, icon, Olympia perennial.
Oh my goodness, and the list goes on,
Branch
right?
Warren.
Man, thank you for that introduction. And,
yeah, that's a good one. I probably left a lot off there, honestly, Branch.
that was more than enough.
Was it?
So, yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
Well, he's one of the fan favorites too. Like people
yeah,
love Branch.
absolutely.
And he's from Texas.
There you go, 4-4. All right, you're there.
Go right there.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I get it.
Branch, we've been going back and forth. He's brought a bunch of Michigan people in, and I'm like, wait a minute. So now we're like bringing the Texas
She's
people
cherry
in.
picking now, Branch. She already had you
Hey,
eyeballed
hey.
from across the room.
I'm like,
Texas is America.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Texas is everything.
Yeah,
Well, maybe someday we'll get Joe down to Texas.
maybe. Go to your ranch down there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I watch you all the time. You're a hell of a horseback rider.
Yeah, so we ride horses and we shoot guns and hunt. And,
How big is the ranch?
so my place is 160 acres, and then my family's place is a little over 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, 160, but then you say 1,000. It's like, what?
Yeah, but you know, Texas, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, 100,000 acre ranch ain't uncommon, so.
I'm a country girl, so I love being in the country, and there's something so special about going out. Of course, we're horse people as well, and there's something so special about going out there after you, especially kind of being in a place like here in Vegas. You just get out, it's quiet, the animals, you can smell the barn or the field or whatever it is. So, what do you love about the ranch?
You know, so my first love in life was bodybuilding, and my second love in life is, you know, riding, you know, horses. And, you know, when you're riding, you're just free. You know, you're out there, it's quiet, it's peaceful. There's no cell phones, no computers, no TVs, no cars. It's just, you know, it's quiet, peaceful. Horses can't talk back to you, and that's a good thing.
Well, they can talk back in certain ways.
Correct. They can act up just like,
right?
They're kind of like children. They can act up, but
they have a mind of their own sometimes.
correct. But it's just I love it, and you know, when I'm out riding, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. If I'm having a bad day, I go ride, my day gets better. If I'm having a good day, it still gets better.
How many horses do you have?
So I personally got 4, and then I'm always my friend that I ride with a lot. It's like has over 30.
Okay,
And,
that's a lot.
So always a different. You can always pick a different one to ride.
Do you do anything competitive with the horses, or is it just for fun?
I do. I compete in. We have cutting horses.
You do cutting, okay.
Yeah, so I compete in cutting horse competitions, and so that's you know, as you probably want to guess, I'm a very competitive person, and so you know, when I got into cutting horses, I had a friend who is really good, and it's something I grew up on a ranch, and it's something I always wanted to do. So once I retired from bodybuilding, I got the opportunity to ride some cutting horses and fell in love with it, and so I've been doing some competitions. So
that's awesome.
That's really cool.
You know what? So my husband right here, Brad, professional horse trainer. We do all the quarter horse show, reining, Western horsemanship. So he trains horses for about 6 events within the quarter horse division. So what he does, and he has his own talk show as well within the horse business. So it'd be fun to get you on his talk show sometime.
I'd love to.
Talking about bodybuilding and cutting,
open up
right?
a new audience with Branch on there for sure.
Right, I think it'd be so fun. And now the big thing is, you know, with Yellowstone, you've been watching Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah.
So Brad knows some of the Yellowstone guys that have come on with the reining horses. So it's kind of everyone wants to do reining now because the Yellowstone deal kind of opened that door up.
Yeah. So it's the
and the Run for the Million. Have you watched the Run for the Million yet?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty amazing. He's like, what? No.
Horse stuff.
Horse stuff.
Yeah, so in Fort Worth last week, at the Futurity, they had the guy from Yellowstone, the cowboy. It's like you know, what's his name?
Taylor, the producer.
Yeah, so
Taylor,
not Taylor Sheridan, but one of the guys on the show.
Okay.
I get the older guy in the show. He actually had a celebrity division, and he actually won the celebrity division at the Fort Worth.
For cutting.
Yeah, cutting. Yeah. So.
Well, once you're kind of in that type of riding, I think the cutting and the reining, because it's fast, it's quick, you have a lot of movement, and you have to be one with the horse and down in the saddle and all that. So when you do those kind of sports, like I think it's easy to cross over into those different ones
for sure.
if you know how to ride that.
Branch,
sure.
I rode a couple horses before.
Meanwhile,
No, but listen, and this is true because you would know this better than anybody because you're a big guy. It hurts. It hurts. Stuff hurts when it's like this. And how do you manage
You got to learn how to ride with the horse. You go with the horse, you don't bounce.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah,
there's
so-
a method.
learn to ride.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I felt like I was
Go
on.
with it.
Okay,
So-
go with it.
You
All
don't
right.
go against
I'll
it.
get it down before we come and visit.
Gotta
Yeah.
get your
I think
back
there's
pockets in.
I think there's a big misconception, you know, especially when I was, you know, 270 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're too big to ride. That's not true.
Yeah, 'cause
I know
you hear
guys that are like 6'4" and like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
That are awesome cowboys.
They just need a bigger horse.
Yeah, no, they don't. Not necessarily.
Yeah, right.
The
They're
cut
big animals anyhow.
Yeah,
Cut
so-
horses are sometimes
Oh, yeah.
small, right? Like
Right.
they're like mighty,
Yeah.
and they're like short, stocky, kind of like they got to get down and move quick. So you don't need a big
there's
horse.
definitely
Someone
probably
can't move that fast.
a technique for even
For sure.
Right. You know, I got a question for you, Olympia question for you.
Back to bodybuilding.
Well, because I finally get to meet, Branch Warren. So, you were always known as a mass monster. You were that guy, heavy when it came to weight. You obviously well known for that as well. We're kind of back into that era. We're starting to get back there a little bit compared to when you were in that mass monster era. Guys like Nick Walker, of course. Our reigning Olympic champion right now, Big Ramy. How do you compare it a little bit? I mean, you came from a very, very unique era in bodybuilding. I don't know will ever be replicated again.
I think the two best eras in our sport were the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
And I think that, in my opinion, were the two best eras
Yeah.
in the men's open division.
Yeah.
I think here for the past 5 years or so,
Yeah.
it's kind of been, the competition hasn't been up to where it should be
Yes.
in an open division. And I think for the first time in history, the most popular person in our sport was not Mr. Olympian.
Yeah.
It's Chris Bumstead, the classic, the Olympia champion.
Yeah.
And so that's never happened before. And I think that's kind of a reflection, I think, a little bit on the guys who are at the top. I think this year, for the first time in years, we have a very competitive show.
We do, yeah.
We got some really good young guys coming up.
Yeah.
Like Derek Lunsford.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude was 212 champion last year. Now he's fighting for the title this year.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, he's first or second. And you got, Hadi Chopin. You've got Nick Walker, a young guy coming up. You got
Yeah.
a lot of other guys, stepping up like Samson.
Yeah.
And so now you're getting back to that quality. These guys got size and they got the conditioning.
Truly.
And we were missing some of that the past few years.
And that really kind of defined your generation because it really was muscle with quality, a lot of lines.
Yes.
These guys are really conditioned with a lot of muscle.
Yes.
We hadn't seen that for a long time. That's why I think you guys will always hold your place in history on that timeline. It was a very unique time with so many awesome, iconic figures that came. Just competing back then, as you look back on it, you just have to get a smile on your face sometimes. Some of the battles you guys had.
I had a blast,
Yeah.
I mean, I competed for 15 years, which was, I thought if I could do 5 years, that'd be a great career.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really no intention to go 15
Yeah.
years. And as it turned out, it just, once you started doing well, I didn't want to stop. And then I look back at the guys I competed against and with, and man, it was a really special time.
Absolutely.
And you don't realize it at the time because you're in the fight.
That's right.
And and I would, back then I never would admit that they were good. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'm friends with all the guys.
Yeah, I was
And,
gonna say, you
it's just
probably
funny when you can probably relate to it too. Once you step away from it, sometimes your biggest rival becomes your really good friend.
Right.
And
right.
at the time you're so you're competing against each other and you respect each other, but you're not really friends. And now that I've stepped away from it, all the guys I compete against, where we all talk and hang out, and it's pretty cool.
Who's that rival for you, Branch?
I had a bunch of them. Dexter Jackson was a
you
huge
did.
rival.
Yeah.
You did Dexter?
One guy stand out?
Dexter and Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
And we're big, big two. We were 1 and 2. Me and Dexter, me and Dennis a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So I think we were really big rivals through the years.
Yeah.
And of course Phil Heath was, he reigned as champion for a long time. And
You guys are friends, though. I mean, you guys worked out together. You're in the magazines a lot together. Kind of had that crew going there for a while.
we did. And I was talking with Dexter after we'd all left and retired, and it was just Dexter and Phil left, and he goes, man, it ain't the same.
Yeah.
It's a different generation, different
Yeah.
era,
Yeah.
and he goes, it ain't like it used to be. So
Yeah. It was a very special time.
And I'm not saying the new generation's bad.
No,
it's just
different.
Yeah,
That's it.
So-
Yeah, very special time. Yeah, pleasure chatting with you. Yeah, thanks.
So you've got the Branch Warren show. How many years have you been doing this now?
This will be my 15th year to have the Branch Warren Classic. So we started off the first year with 79 competitors. We had 19 powerlifters. Last year we had 2,200 competitors,
2,200.
and now we got a bunch of. We have jiu-jitsu. We had 800 competitors in jiu-jitsu. We have CrossFit, strongman, powerlifting, all these different arm wrestling, and midget wrestling. Midget wrestling is the best. And,
When is this show?
in Texas.
Oh,
yeah,
of course it is.
the Branch Warren Classic down in Houston.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
So
What's the date on it?
It's June 24th this year.
24th. Oh, okay.
And
down?
Yeah, for sure.
And I also
Sounds great.
have the Branch Warren Classic in Denver on May 6th, and then April 15th I have the Better Bodies Classic in Dallas. So
It's got a lot going on.
Really.
I think what you need to do is bring cutting into your show setup.
Oh, yeah,
like a
combined horse race,
Like a demonstration with the
Oh,
horse
my
thing
goodness.
going on.
Oh,
think
my
we think
Bring the
we-
cowboys in, and
Only in Texas.
I mean, how no one else is doing it.
and then we just need a gun show too.
The gun show. Oh.
I see
On in
something
Texas,
working
we're
here.
not going to let go of our guns.
No,
Never.
Oh, no, that's a fact. That's why I'm moving to Texas. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about Michigan, but Texas, we're going to.
Oh, let's not talk about politics. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. No.
Oh, it's fun. So what else? What else do you have going on? I mean, I know that's a lot already. So is there running the ranch alone is a lot.
Correct. So I've got a Wicked Cuts beef jerky.
So I'm sorry. Say
Wicked Cuts beef jerky. So
beef jerky.
Yeah. So me and Scott James, who used to own BSN,
Yes.
we partnered up about 4 years ago and opened up a Wicked Cuts.
cool.
So
I love Scott.
So yeah, so we're based out of South Lake, Texas, there, right outside of Dallas by the airport, and we started off the first couple years. We had booths here at the Arnold and the Olympia, but that wasn't our main focus market. You know, beef jerky is more of a mainstream, product. So
Right.
so we're in 8,500 locations across the country, and
Okay.
doing really well with that.
Scott and I kept in touch on and off, and I love his wife Sarah.
Yep.
And it's like every once in a while we'll like message each other and say, "Hey, what's up?" And but it's like he's awesome. What a great business partner.
Yeah. So it's been a really good relationship, and
Y'all, I
doing really
can
well.
see that you guys would probably be on the same path and page of how to run the business and how to make it successful.
Well, Scott has probably forgot more about business than I ever know. Scott was
That's awesome.
Those of you who don't know, Scott was the owner and founder of BSN back in the day.
Oh, wait, I talked to him about hiring me. I was their first girl.
I remember.
I got my own contract, and I called him up. I'm like, y'all just have Ronnie. You need a girl. And they're like, really? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So they ended up bringing me on as their first girl. But
We have a picture of you in the office from the old BSN days. So
back in the day.
back in the day.
So fun, so fun. I remember I showed up to an appearance in Florida, and he picked me up in his Bentley, and I was like, hey, why don't we get a Bentley and let me drive it around? We'll put BSN, and at the time it was a lean dessert protein powder that when he put my name, he said it went up 130% or something in sales. I'm like, let's put it all over. And he was like, well, that would be cool. I'm like, it didn't happen, but I tried.
You didn't get the Bentley.
No, I didn't get the Bentley, but I did suggest it. Oh, that's fun. Well, Branch, we really appreciate you
Yes,
coming
thank
and
you,
taking
Branch.
time
Sure.
here. I know you got a busy schedule, and the fans love you. You stopped here. People all taking pictures with you. They're finding you everywhere.
Well, thanks for having me. I know I promised last year I'd be on
Yeah,
here.
thank
We couldn't
you.
make it happen,
Yeah,
so I
thanks,
want to
Branch.
make sure
This is
we
awesome.
get on here this year.
Where can people find you here at the Olympia right now?
So I'll be floating around the Olympia. Got a few things to do here in the expo. We don't have a booth here this year,
Okay.
but I do have we have the Gas Better Bodies mansion right off the strip. And if you want to
okay.
come, just go to Gas Better Bodies website or Instagram and request
Okay.
Request
That
an invitation.
Sounds good. That sounds good.
All right. Excellent.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, thanks, Branch. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Branch.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll be right back with some more awesome interviews. Don't go away.